Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be discussing a new what if. In celebration of hitting 5,000 subscribers, I'll be doing a crossover what if, combining my top 2 favorite animes of all time, Dragon Ball Z and My Hero Academia. What if Goku traveled to the My Hero Academia universe? What type of impact will Goku have on the characters of My Hero and especially Midoriya? Will it be a positive or negative effect? Also, I'm on a Discord for anyone who wants to join and talk more about Dragon Ball with me and other viewers. Maybe give out some of your own ideas of what ifs, and maybe in the future, I could do them. Check the link in the description down below. Without further ado, let's dive into the first season of What If Goku Traveled to the My Hero Academia universe. So this story will begin after the Tournament of Power. Goku enjoyed the tournament so much that he wanted to see how big the multiverse is, and wanted to see other interesting fighters. He would head to Whis and ask him if he could possibly be brought to another world with fighters. Whis explains to Goku that he can send Goku to a different universe that are completely different from their universe. This news excites Goku and quickly asks Whis to send him to any world. Whis does give Goku his staff and some capsules that have some items Goku may need as he thanks him. Whis would tap his staff as a portal opens up underneath Goku, as Whis does says to enjoy his time in a new world, as Goku falls through. Goku lands on top of a building. Not long after, he sees a big explosion nearby and decides to go check it out. And he sees a big slimy slug creature and he prepares to go in and fight him, but then he sees a kid with messy green hair trying to fight this slug creature. Goku sees him throwing his backpack, trying to dodge the monster's attacks, and goes in to rescue an angry spiky haired kid, and it does look dire for the two kids, so quickly Goku jumps in, and with a simple strike, the pressure wave was enough to push the villain back away from the kids. This power shocks All Might, as he was midway through aiding Midoriya. The other pro heroes and civilians are left stunned, as no one knows who this guy is. Goku goes to help the two kids, but Bakugo quickly pushes him off, and storms off, while Midoriya is a bit baffled at what just occurred. Goku giggles and says that it is nothing to what he can really do. Pro heroes begin to surround Goku, telling him to put his hands up. Goku is confused as then Death Arms tries to lock Goku in place, but easily with a finger makes him lose his grip. Goku is not too sure what is going on, but he grabs a hold of Midoriya and instant transmission them someplace safe. Midoriya is completely dumbfounded and a bit scared that a man just technically took him. Goku introduces himself to Midoriya, and Midoriya is confused and asks Goku who he is, and Goku just says that he is from another city. This makes Midoriya questionable, since he has never seen this pro hero before, and if he even is that, but he bursts off and then asks why is he here, and Goku asks Midoriya why didn't he fight the slimy monster with his powers that other people seem to have. Midoriya realizes that he is talking about pro heroes, and Midoriya responds that he doesn't have any quirk. Then Goku says what are quirks? This completely shocks Midoriya and he gets concerned, but he explains that 80% of the world's population has different quirks or metahuman abilities, and with quirks people would use it for good and be pro heroes, while others would use it for bad and be villains. Goku finds this shocking and exciting at the same time. He says he wants to fight these villains, but Midoriya explains that you would have to be an actual licensed pro hero to be able to stop crime, which then Goku realizes why the other heroes try to stop him. Goku sighs in disappointment, but then he asks Midoriya if he wants to be a pro hero, and Midoriya smiles, says yes, but then he frowns saying that he can't because he doesn't have a quirk. Goku then offers to train him, but Midoriya says that he didn't even know what quirks are. Goku then gets into a stance, and he says to Midoriya that he will show him his own power. He pulls a punch to the sky that looks stronger than even All Might's. This shocks Midoriya so much that he didn't even know that this could be possible, and Goku says that he could do a lot more than just physical strength. Suddenly Goku then looks over with a serious face, saying that he can stop hiding. Midoriya looks over and says he doesn't see anyone. Then All Might walks in with his buff form and tries to hold on to that form since Goku is there. Goku senses that All Might is straining his body, and All Might is shocked about this, and he goes into his skinny form. All Might asks how he knows, and Goku says that he can sense Ki, and this confuses both All Might and Midoriya. Goku explains that Ki is a way to sense someone's life force and strength. All Might then says about the fact of Goku offering young Midoriya to train, and he saw the power that Goku had. All Might asks what is Goku's quirk, and Goku says he doesn't have a quirk, that's just his own strength. All Might and Midoriya's mouth dropped at this. All Might then goes to Midoriya and offers him to be the successor of One for All. And Midoriya is shocked and crying, and he says yes. All Might wants to train Midoriya as well, and Goku says he'll offer to train him with All Might, and they agree on that. All Might says the training will start next week, and he will take off. Goku then tells Midoriya that his training will start tomorrow. And Midoriya is a bit nervous, but Goku tells him not to worry, because he will soon be strong like him. Goku's belly ends up rumbling, and Goku realizes that he is hungry, and Midoriya offers to bring him to his home, and Goku happily agrees. They arrive at his house and are greeted by Inko. She asks who this man is, and Goku introduces himself and explains to Inko that he is a big pro hero from another city, as he is the first pro hero without a quirk. Inko questions this, but Midoriya then says that he saw Goku use his own strength, and his punch felt even stronger than All Might's. Goku then puts on a serious face and asks for her permission, and that this is all not a bluff. Inko then accepts it and thanks Goku for doing this for her son. They eat dinner and then relax for the rest of the night. It is 4 in the morning and Goku quietly wakes up Midoriya and tells them to get ready because it's time for them to train. They end up on a beach and Goku starts explaining to Midoriya that his training wouldn't be easy, and Midoriya nods his head, being prepared for this. Goku looks through his belt and pulls out a capsule and opens it up, and it shows many training items. Midoriya is shocked by this technology, and Goku says that he got this from his friend Bulma, who's a genius. Now their training begins. Goku was started off with a little sparring match, and tells Midoriya to try to hit him with everything he has got. And Midoriya says alright, but he's not so skilled as a fighter. But with all the knowledge and studying he did from many pro heroes, he tries some tactics, which didn't work on Goku, but Goku liked the fact of how Midoriya was so smart when it came to fighting. For hours Midoriya would try to hit Goku, but miss every attack, and Goku was able to dodge them all with ease. Midoriya is exhausted, but Goku sees the first problem they have to fix, and Goku says that they need to train him with his fighting style. For the week they had, he trained Midoriya hand-to-hand combat, and learned the turtle hermit fighting style. All Might arrives at the beach and sees Goku training Midoriya. He sees how hard Midoriya is training to hit Goku, but Goku is dodging all the punches with ease. All Might goes to Midoriya and asks if he is tired or feeling weak, but Midoriya says he's hardly tired. During the week they train from 4 AM to 7 PM with breaks and eating. Midoriya was training hard and grew so much from the intense training. All Might tells Midoriya his training that he will do, but Goku butts in, telling Midoriya that he will make it extra challenging. He opens another capsule that pops out a turtle shell, similar to the one Roshi has, and he tells Midoriya that he will be wearing this for the next 10 months. While training. Midoriya thinks it shouldn't be that hard, but Goku says it's going to be 50 kilograms, and this worries both All Might and Midoriya. But Goku says not to worry since he had to do this when he was 14 years old, and this shocks them even more. So for the 10 long months, Midoriya trained to make his body worthy of One For All. He kept on going so many times and never once took off his shell. In the mixture of the cleaning of the beach, he continued his harsh training with Goku to improve his fighting style, overall strength, and in the process teaching him how to use ki and flying. Before the exam came, the beach was cleaned much prior to the original timeline, so Midoriya gained One For All early, and his hand-to-hand combat was close to perfect. Before All Might gave Midoriya One For All, Goku said to Midoriya to take off the shell to see how he feels. Midoriya takes off the shell, and he feels so much lighter, and Goku says to jump as high as he can, and he does, and Midoriya flies high, and he screams his way down, but lands perfectly fine. Goku then says to punch up, and when Midoriya does, a small precise pressure wave of air comes out that is powerful, and Goku is impressed. All Might then gives One For All to Midoriya, and then Goku says to Midoriya to try to hit him, and Midoriya isn't so confident, but Goku says he'll go easy, and they get into a fighting stance. Midoriya strikes, first doing barrages of attacks that causes many pressure waves, and Goku blocks them with ease, and attacks Midoriya with a bit of his own power, and Midoriya gets pulled back. Midoriya gets more serious as green electricity charges around him, and he quickly rushes at Goku, punching him with 100% of One For All, and Goku tries to block it, and it causes a big impact between the two, and they both get pushed back. Goku is shocked about this, and he wasn't ready for that amount of power. His body feels a bit tingly, but then he notices Midoriya's ki. Midoriya is hurt and his arm is being broken, as that punch was the only one he used with One For All. And All Might panicked, and Goku realizes that Midoriya's body isn't fully ready for 100% of One For All. He then thinks of something. He pulls out a senzu bean and gives it to Midoriya. He tells him to eat it because it will instantly heal him. Midoriya eats it and his arm is back to normal and he feels completely energized and healed up. All Might is shocked about this bean and asks Goku about it, and Goku says that it's a senzu bean could heal any injury possible. Then All Might reveals his damaged stomach and asks if it could heal this bad of an injury. Goku says that he did know that All Might was suffering from some bad heavy damage. Goku then asks about him giving away his power, and All Might says that his injury is the problem. Goku offers him a senzu bean, and All Might takes it. He feels immense pain and goes to the ground, and then he stops feeling the pain as he lifts up his shirt and he feels that it's all healed up. He and Midoriya are stunned, and he thanks Goku for this miracle, and Goku just laughs with a smile. They still had a month till the exam and continued on training, with Midoriya being able to use around 70% of One For All. Midoriya would also focus on different ways to use One For All. He doesn't need to learn to control One For All at a lower percentage, since his own physical strength is around 50% of One For All, so he learns to hold back his strength. Goku would even teach him the basics of flying and ki manipulation, as Midoriya learns how to make small ki blasts and could only really remain floating in the air. Also, Goku and All Might even had a sparring match. All Might would go all out on Goku, knowing he is a strong opponent. Goku is pretty impressed with All Might's strength, especially that he is back in his prime without any drawbacks. All Might sees Goku is not fighting back and asks him to see it at his full power. Goku laughs and says that if he did, the planet might not be able to handle it, but he does power up and transforms into his Super Saiyan transformation, which takes both All Might and Midoriya back, with this amount of strength. All Might also realizes something else. He doesn't feel any weaker after giving up his quirk, and maybe the being that Goku gave him could have also somehow let him keep one for all in him too, or the training he's getting from Goku is helping him grow stronger. The exam comes and Midoriya passes the test and gets ready for the physical exam, but he is confident this time. As soon as he hears that the test begins, he instantly sprints in front of everyone and it shocks them all with his overwhelming speed. Midoriya goes around quickly, destroying almost every robot without using one for all. He blitzes around the test ground as the others could barely even catch a glimpse of him. Goku is up in the sky watching this and smiles at how proud he is towards Midoriya. Then the big robot arrives and everyone runs out, but not Midoriya, as he sees a girl trapped under rebels, and Midoriya wants to test how much of one for all he could use, so he combines his own pure strength and activates 90% of one for all, and destroys the robot with ease, and sends it flying into the air as it breaks into many little pieces. And then he would land on the ground with ease, shattering the concrete, and he would pick up the rebel, helping Uraraka. Everyone is shocked and wonders how strong this kid could be. Goku just smiles and is glad Midoriya did good. After that exams, Midoriya would meet up with Goku and All Might as they are proud of his efforts during their conversation. Midoriya suddenly is frozen as a dark haze surrounds him, as he is surrounded by a group of people. He asks them who they are, and the one in the middle with white hair explains who he is. Yoichi explained to Midoriya about the history of One for All. Everything Midoriya learns during Season 6, he learns now. All of this knowledge overwhelms him, but somehow he isn't too scared, as he knows that with Goku and All Might, they could handle anything. Yoichi explains how surprised he is with Midoriya also learning to control almost all of One for All so quickly. Even though it is not time yet, but Midoriya is ahead of schedule. But it is not bad, but he does learn about all of the other users' quirks, and then wakes up from the dream as both Goku and All Might are confused, as Midoriya explains what he just saw, which shocks All Might, and Goku takes interest. All Might tells Midoriya not to worry that for now, as they need to focus on training him further and him enjoying his high school life. Since All Might's recovery, he realized that he is no longer on a time limit on how long he could be a hero, but is still losing his power. He's with Goku and he does ask him to train him so that he can still remain the symbol of peace for society. Goku does understand and accept his request and decides to train him as well. During the months of Midoriya finishing up his middle school, All Might has been going through intense training non-stop. With his body being fully recovered and the newfound motivation, he grew quite strong. It could match around 50% of when he had One for All to his base strength. The time came when Midoriya would start UA, and when he enters the room, everyone stops talking and stares at him, which makes him a bit nervous, until Kirishima rushes over to him, calling him the manliest man here, being the person who made it in first place of the entrance exam, which shocks Midoriya. Everyone is stunned looking at Midoriya, being the top scorer but not really looking the part. Uraraka appears behind him as he does still get all nervous, until Aizawa arrives and announces the physical exam everyone would take. Midoriya would score the highest in every test, without breaking a sweat, making everyone absolutely baffled with his immense power, and wonder if there's nothing he can do. Bakugo sees this and is dumbfounded and visibly upset, as he rushes to Midoriya, but Aizawa would try to stop him, but Midoriya will shoot a small pressure wave that pushes Bakugo back and shocks everyone. Midoriya apologizes, but he wasn't going to get bullied anymore. Bakugo is shocked, as someone he used to push around as a weakling now suddenly grown so much stronger than him, and he doesn't understand how. The day goes on as normal, just the difference being that Midoriya is one of the most popular students in his class and easily makes friends. Once he returned home, he would meet up with Goku and All Might to do some training, and Midoriya sees how much All Might has grown with training with Goku. To this point, All Might is basically at the point where he is as strong as he was with One for All, and is now also learning to use key attacks. All Might also got into the talks with Goku, with him trying to get a hero's license, and together they would go take down some villains, which Goku would like to do. All Might tells Midoriya about tomorrow's heroics exercise at school, and that he should not use his full strength on the students since they could get really hurt. When the next day arrives, Midoriya was excited the entire time, barely able to show restraint until All Might appears in the classroom, to everyone's shock, as he tells them to gear up for their first hero exercise. Midoriya's hero suit kind of resembles both his original first suit and Goku's gi, somewhat like a mixture of both, with the look of the gi and the colors of Midoriya's hero suit with the mask. The teams would be picked as normal, but Midoriya wouldn't be too fearful of Bakugo, and more confident when making a plan with the Uraraka. He would just tell her to follow his lead, and then the match will begin. Midoriya would begin focusing and trying to sense Bakugo and Ida's ki, and when he does, he senses one that is roaming around the building, and one staying in one place. Midoriya, still being the smart fighter he is, he would know that Bakugo would be looking out for him, and would think that Ida would be the one guarding the bomb. And with that guess, he would tell Uraraka to float them up to a floor that Ida is on. He could fly himself, but he doesn't want to take all the work away from Uraraka, so he would let her float them to the floor. Once on the floor with the bomb and Ida, they burst through, with Midoriya pushing Ida back with the pressurized air punch, and Uraraka capturing the bomb, and they would win the round in under a minute. When Bakugo heard that it was all over and that they lost, he went berserk, destroying the building as he rockets out of the building, yelling for Midoriya. as he spots him, with Ida and Uraraka as he rushes at him. Ida tries to stop Bakugo, but he flies right past them, aiming for Midoriya. He prepares an explosion to hit Midoriya, as the others are worried for him. A huge explosion erupts, as the rest of the class watch in horror, and All Might even looks worried. But once the smoke cleared, Midoriya was still standing, as if the explosion was nothing to him, and this shocked everyone, including Bakugo. He didn't know what to say, as he looked at himself. Someone who he considered beneath him just tanked his attack like it was nothing. All Might quickly appeared, checking in on the 3 students to see if they were okay, but was upset at Bakugo for lashing out, and was brought to the principal's office. Uraraka and Ida went over to Midoriya and asked if he was okay, but he says that he was completely fine and didn't really hurt anything, but he felt bad for Bakugo. The rest of the class also was worried about Midoriya and couldn't believe what Bakugo tried to do, but also was really impressed with how he managed the situation and asked how he knew where Ida was, and Midoriya tries to play it off, saying he has good hearing. The rest of the day would go on, but once school was over, Midoriya would try to look for Bakugo, but never went back to class. He would fly away trying to look for him or sense his ki, but was unable to do so. All Might and Goku were busy, so he would decide to stay home for the day. With Goku and All Might, they managed to have Goku obtain his own hero license after doing some tests, and together they went around stopping villains. And Goku was starting to get a lot of attention as a new hero. Next day of class 1A would be going to the USJ to train with learning how to save people, but mysteriously Bakugo was absent, and Midoriya grew worried about him. While on their way to the USJ, they were all talking about how Midoriya is crazy strong, and most likely will be the #1 hero when he graduates, which makes him a little shy. They all do begin to question his quirk, as it is written as a super strength type quirk, but he could do a lot of cool things. But Midoriya tries his best to avoid the question. Once they arrive at the USJ, the class is greeted by 13, All Might, and Goku. Midoriya was completely off guard, not expecting Goku to be here. A lot of the students already heard about Goku from his short time working with All Might, and how quickly he grew in the ranks of pro heroes. They would begin discussing the USJ until Goku warns All Might that something is wrong, as he senses a bunch of small ki energies around them, as they both look around to see a portal opening up and a bunch of villains coming out of the portal. Everyone begins to panic, but All Might tells Aizawa and 13 to protect the kids, while he and Goku will fight the villains. Once they hopped down by the villains, they stood no chance, as together All Might and Goku were far too powerful for any of them, no matter what their quirk was. They started panicking, not knowing what to do. Shigaraki, who was the leader of this attack, saw how All Might was still at his peak, and seeing how this new hero is matching up with him. He grows to panic a little, but he sends out the Nomu. All Might sees this as he punches the Nomu, and he manages to absorb the damage from the first punch. All Might didn't grow too worried, as he held back, not wanting to hurt it, but now he begins to put more energy into the next punch, and with this next one, with the amount of force, it was too much for Nomu to absorb that it ended up exploding. Shigaraki was dumbfounded as the Nomu didn't last a second punch, and seeing this he tells Kurogiri to teleport them out of there instantly, leaving all the criminals to be ended up captured. The police would arrive, but everyone would be okay, as the students all celebrated for All Might and Goku being there. Later that day, Midoriya would meet up with the two for some training. Goku said that none of those villains were any threat to them, and even Midoriya could have handled them all with ease. All Might agreed, but he shouldn't be showing off all the power he has, as it would raise questions around him. He also tells them that he thinks All For One is planning something. He discussed about Nomu and how he tanked a punch from him that a normal person would have been knocked out from. Even though all 3 of them are strong, he is afraid that his #1 enemy, All For One, is planning something, and he is not to be underestimated with how many quirks he could have that could make them have to be more careful. Midoriya does chime in, saying that ever since that day against Bakugo, he has been missing, and asked All Might if he was expelled, but All Might said no, and they would just send him home with a warning, and hearing this makes Midoriya worried for his friend. And that's where we're going to leave it off for now. Tell me how you think about the first part and how I did with the first season of My Hero Academia. Where has Bakugo gone? What challenges would the 3 face, if any? Could All For One think of something to take down this now overpowered All Might and Midoriya? What could have happened differently? Leave your thoughts down in the comments down below, and I would love to hear them. If y'all are interested and enjoyed, please leave a like and subscribe. Hit the notification bell to be alerted whenever I post another part. Thank y'all so much for watching, and again, thank y'all for all the support for the channel and making us hit 5,000 subscribers. It is amazing to me, and I just want to say thank y'all, because this is all y'all's doing. Y'all did this. Y'all managed to have my channel hit 5,000 subscribers, and I'm just thank y'all so much. And I will see y'all in the next part. See ya.